I can say there is what started out as the scariest ride of my life a moment ago. I mean, I'm still shaking. Turned out to be one of the most amazing FPV experiences I have ever had. Now, I see a good reason for the amount of trimming that I needed. I put tape on the wings, and I obviously forgot, because it wasn't the right kind of tape. It had a grit to it. I didn't want to use it. I didn't take it off the left-hand side of the wing. So one wing has tape on it, one wing doesn't. And I did not understand why. I don't know if you can see how far off my wings. I mean, they had to be almost that far off to fly, and it has to be this tape. I knew that it was going to have an aerodynamic effect, and yet I thought it took it off, but I only took it off of one side. However, all I can really say about that is keep in mind that flight was in nothing but stability mode, what people call beginner mode. It's really, I guess the launch mode is not a good term for it. Beginner mode is much better because it allows you, it's much more forgiving. In that actual state, you can make a mistake such as I did. I actually had a tip stall. And you probably didn't see that, but at one point, I'm so not used to having yaw control that I had 0 throttle, full pitch back, and I had a little bit of a tip stall. And luckily, I was able to just give it some throttle, and it nosed up and corrected itself and came right out of it. So that is just beyond amazing. And the one thing that I have to say above all is that this little Lollipop 2 here, while it feels warm to the touch, this AKK, the Fox here, and the Lollipop 2 performed better than any. The only FPV setup that I've had out here that performed close to that is where I actually took the camera off of the orbit just so that I could run the camera, because I love the camera so much, and I didn't have another one on hand, so I robbed it off of there, and I used the exact same VTX, and I turned it up real high, and I can't believe it. I mean, we're talking like absolutely no breakup, and it did take me a minute to get trimmed and dialed in. Again, I think that was because I had tape on the leading edge of this wing that was not the appropriate tape, and I have fixed that now, but we're low on light, so I'm actually going to call that the Maiden, because I am beyond happy with that. I wish to God that you guys could have seen it all, because I was traveling from all the way over there where those people are walking. I was easily tracking the sidewalk using the yaw, which had amazing authority, and going out over the swamp and out near the tower. I did not go around the tower, but I did go near it. There's a big swamp over there. Went through all that. I came down through here and was very able to go in between the cars and the trees and all of this and come back around and just play with it like I haven't really been able to with a lot of these wings, because they're so fast that you come at something and there is no room for error. Where this time I followed a lot of the basic rules. I made sure to double check everything. I did my high five. I made sure, but I think that very simply I either started the airplane on an angle, so the accelerometer was on an angle, or simply the plane was either out of trim, or it was the tape. One of the three, and I'll figure it out on the next flight, because I did get it trimmed out by the end of the flight. So the first minute of that flight was terrifying, and the rest of the time I just couldn't stop. I knew that I didn't know how much time I had. I don't know how much time I have on the battery. This is one of the only cameras that doesn't actually have an OSD on it, and one of the only OSDs. So I will swap this camera out for one that does give me the voltage reading so that there's no chance of me running out. Can't believe this has been a 22-minute video already. But I hope we got some good shots in there. That was an amazing flight. And literally the clearest picture. Some of the most fun I've had with FPV in a long time. So, man, big up ZOD. You guys keep impressing me every day.